Steady D. If it ain't going down at the Bunny Ranch, it ain't going down at all.
It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down, going down, going down, going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. It's going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch. Going down at the Bunny Ranch.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Bunny Ranch podcast. I'm James, and today, well, we're going to sit down with another starlet. Now, it's not just any starlet. It's like someone who matches like Carmen Sandiego, where you hide the face or, but I've known this person a long time since she first started here. So, Delilah Rae.
Hi, and I just realized when you said since I first started how long we've been able to know each other.
Yeah.
I think it's like 4 years pre-pandemic.
Yeah, true.
I'm still 21 if anyone asks. Wink, wink.
I'm 21 as well.
But no, it's so good to see you again. And for everyone watching, it's so good to be with everyone again, even if you can't, see me.
I mean, they kind of do, but kind of, it's that mystère.
Yes, the mystique of the profile.
Yeah. So, Delilah, for those who don't know, I mean, obviously in the first season, you did a podcast with a former host.
Yeah.
But for those who've never seen any of the shows or don't even know anything about it, who are you? That's like the hardest question out there.
Right? Like, okay, let me just think for a second. Insert witty, clever catchphrase that I totally thought of here.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
No, I'm Delilah Rae. I'm a starlet over at the Sagebrush Ranch. I've been here for a while. I keep coming back, so there must be something worth coming back. And I am.
Well, and your clients keep coming back now, right?
They do.
That's why you
let's
keep coming
just
back.
say they take as good of care of me as I take care of them. So
Bow shikawawa?
we all enjoy each other's company, let's just say. No, but I am one of the unique ladies here at the ranches that chooses to hide their face. So for people listening, not watching, if you were to watch us on the YouTube, you would see one of my many giant derby hats that I tend to wear when doing public things.
Yeah, on the YouTube box,
On the YouTube box.
Yeah, on the YouTube. Not YouTube, but
No, it's the YouTubes.
The YouTube box. The tubes of the U, right?
I think that's what the cool kids are calling it nowadays,
Is
but
that on the TikToks?
I think and the grams, there's something with the grams, but not the metrics.
The pentagrams,
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I am terrible with social media. I have managed to learn Twitter. I got Twitter down. I think we should all be proud of me. But my tech usage is like my hobbies.
You knit a lot.
Yeah, let's just go with that one.
I've seen you knit a ton of different things.
It keeps your hands busy, which means they're dexterous and passes the time.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not that old. Like, you're not like.
No, gosh, no.
Like, for those watching, I know what she looks like. And if you come make an appointment, you'll know what she looks like.
Obviously.
She's not like a 90-year-old woman.
No, gosh, no. I'm not even 30 yet. I'm still in my mid-20s, about 28 here and there, but...
I wasn't actually asking your age.
Oh, I don't mind sharing.
I clarified that people aren't like thinking you're like a little grandma knitting down on a carpet.
No, I'm just very, very Minnesotan, and the winters are long and cold, and I don't like going outside in them. I avoid that. The neighbor kids do the shoveling, so I don't have to. It's a great system.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Okay.
Like a hand-knitted hat at the start of the winter and like $20.
Yeah.
$20 every week or two, every few snowstorms.
$20 is $20, right?
Right.
I shovel snow for $20.
Same. But I have neighbor kids, so I don't have to.
Well, let's get deep into this and hard and really at the point.
Ooh, my favorite kind of time to have.
Exactly, right? So, obviously, you don't show your face.
Nope.
Now, obviously, you wouldn't come back if it wasn't successful. Like, you've not perfected it because you've been doing this a little while.
Oh, yeah.
So think about like how it all like started. Like how like what like for those of you who don't know at home, you know, they might want to know why or how, like why you don't do it. Obviously, for certain reasons.
Yeah.
So, like, what kind of process it goes into doing that? Because you take a lot of photos. You don't just blur. Because I mean, you have some blurred faces.
Occasionally.
But you're more artistic with all the other ways to do it. Like, explain to those at home who are listening and are watching.
Yeah.
You know, like how much work that, because it's a lot more work than a standard sex worker here.
It honestly is. When you can show your face, you automatically have like 1,000 more poses to do, different ways you can look at the camera, arrange your face in photo shoots. And I like to say that I guard my own privacy as fiercely as I guard my clients, and I guard theirs as fiercely as I guard mine. So I know a lot of people really appreciate the level of discretion I bring to an encounter.
Yeah.
My clients know that whatever happens with me is our treasured moment together and is to be shared between us, not necessarily the world. And that is something that they find a lot of value in. And then I've just had the pleasure of working with amazing people. You yourself are one of them. You've done my video, you've done photos for me. It does take a different level of artistry because
It was the first time I actually really filmed anyone or even took photos of someone who didn't take their...
Yeah.
Because a lot of the girls either, if they'd done it before, they would just blur their face. Which we don't. We let them do it because, you know, sometimes they might not like how I blur it, right?
Well, and it's
in a video, we can't blur
hard.
it.
And it's really hard to get a good blur where the blurred photo... And I have them up. I am not dissing photos with a blurred face. I have some that I'm very, very proud
If
of.
they're done right. and
Yeah,
good, you know,
but it can be
hands down
hard.
good.
It can be really hard to make the absence of the face not a distraction from the actual photo. So I have a huge collection of these large hats, fans. I find them great to do a little coyness.
Okay.
With how I do it. And then also, when someone does make an appointment with me and puts down a deposit, that to me is an excellent show of good faith, that you are extremely interested in the, not to brag, but the many amazing talents I have to offer. Not only are you interested in those, but you've made a commitment to me that I can now start investing my time and my skill and my expertise into creating your pleasure. And part of our pleasure is visual. So once I get that appointment and that deposit on my books, I know you're serious. I send a full face photo instantly.
Yeah.
And that way, you know, just say I have a very, very big blue eyes that I personally feel are rather pretty. But say someone is dead set on a lady with green eyes, and that's the deal breaker for them. That's okay. You know, we still had that chance to engage in chat, but you're not walking in blind, so to speak.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, in order to understand, you know, sometimes you have to have that, not just the physical connection, because some people, you know, looks are all of it, right? But
Yeah.
other people, you know, especially if you're going to really like
Invest
enjoy
in yourself.
your experience, okay? It's not just sex.
No,
It's
gosh, no.
experience. Like it's a moment that it's a kind of a magical moment between the two of you, regardless,
That
or more than two of you.
Is
depending on how you do it.
so you said it better than I could. I genuinely believe that the people who come to see me and the people who keep coming back to see me again and again, the absence of my face is not a deterrent for them, because I think if you look at my profile, if you look at the content I create, my content speaks for itself without my face involved. People come to me knowing that they can communicate anything they want to explore in the bedroom, anything they want to try, any type of human connection that they are missing that I can give. And so I have been blessed by so many people who really have taken a huge initiative to invest in their own selves, invest in their own bodies and their own pleasure, and really take the time to let me be a part of discovering their best sexual selves. And it's so much fun. So much fun.
You're glowing right now. It's great right now.
No, I love it. I love when someone is so nervous to try this one thing and it's via computer screen, but I can just imagine them like shaking as they type out the email, so nervous to tell this stranger who they've never met, they've never seen their face, but this deep, intimate fantasy that they've never had the chance to explore. And I get to read the email and I get to reply with, that sounds amazing. Here's how I think we can make that happen.
Okay.
And then I'm just able to open all of those doors that had been previously closed. I'm able to help people reconnect with their bodies if it's been a long time, figure out what pleasure looks like if it's been the first time, or find a new way to experience themselves. And how cool is that?
Yeah, I mean,
like, I get really nerdy about sex. I'm sorry. I just nerd out all over the place.
Yeah, nerd out all over the place.
Oh, that's one of the words, at least.
Damn. But, to go on that nerd topic, though, you're highly educated.
Yes.
Obviously, if you can tell by her speaking, she is very educated. What kind of backgrounds and stuff do you have that, like, because obviously, this isn't a last resort. You came here because you wanted to.
Gosh, no. I have multiple 4-year degrees. Mm-hmm. I'm here because I'm really good at what I do, and I have a lot of fun doing it, to be honest.
So you come here because you want to have fun and make that connection.
Oh, yeah. Well, and just the work I get to do. So, background-wise, I was a sexual health educator at a college university for 6 years. I was a peer health educator, so I would walk into freshman classes and be like, all right, raise your hand if your high school sex ed curriculum actually included the clitoris on the diagram of anatomy. And then I have a bunch of terrified freshmen stare at me. And I usually would bring Oreos, and then I would just eat Oreos until someone answered me. And it worked pretty good, because then I'd give them a cookie, and then freshmen in college like cookies. It was a good bribe system.
This sounds like a party she might do with you guys.
Just saying.
Eat them in front of you.
Yeah, just hey, I'm a Midwest girl. We do not order salad at dinner. I run and I eat like I run, which is a lot. But no, and so just years of sexual health education, and then I started dancing while I was in college, and I just loved the sensuality of a body on a stage just moving and dancing. I love lap dances. I think they're just such a fun little tease of intimacy, and I decided I wanted to take all of those skills and bring them a step forward. I am also a trained and certified crisis counselor, and I am one of the country's only trauma-informed legal sex providers.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, that is something I'm actually exceptionally proud of. So I work a lot with military vets, or even people who have had more intimate forms of trauma, that it just impacts their ability to be a sexual person. And with me, they have someone who's cool. Let's figure it out together. I know a lot about bodies. I have the education to keep every moment safe and healthy for us as we explore, whether that's exploring kink, whether that's exploring sex for the first time, whether that's, hey, I have a new med and I struggle to maintain an erection and I don't know what sex looks like for me anymore, but I know I'm still a sexual person. And so many people think ejaculation means the end of sex. I get to show people all the fun things in between that make it better.
Okay.
And it's great.
Like what? Like, not, you don't have to go into full detail, but like, what exactly do you mean by everything in the middle? Because I mean, I have an idea.
Yeah.
That I might want in the middle. But like, what exactly? Because like, are we talking like, cuddling? Are we talking about like sensual touches, massages?
All of it. So I'm gonna get really nerdy.
Those are all things I
first.
like, by the way. So
hit them up.
no, I'm kidding.
Come into
I'm
a ranch.
I'm not a sex worker. You can't book me.
Unfortunately, to many. But no. So it's really, touch is really fascinating. And if people go back and watch the first podcast, I nerded out about touch, and I can talk about just touch for hours.
Well, like,
but
let's hear a little bit
yeah,
more.
it's the
in case they have to hear it again. Let's
let's
talk
go
about it again.
So our skin is the largest organ in the human body, and touch actually actively stimulates different hormone releases that create pleasure, that create enjoyment, erotic pleasure, definitely. Most people think that the erotic zones, the things that feel good that way, only are right here and right here. And they're not. There's actually a really fun spot on just the inside of your ankle, and people watching can kind of see where I'm showing, that is actually extremely sensitive and can be...
So, wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Where?
So right here, right around the ankle bone, there's actually some really fun nerve endings that can be stimulated, and you can just feel the sensation crawl up your body. There's one on the bottom of the foot on the instep. Actually, the reason why a foot fetish is the most common fetish is that the nerve endings that are stimulated by your genitalia are really close to the nerve endings stimulated by your feet. And that's why foot rubs feel so good. And so, say someone has started a new medication that makes having an erection harder. Well, that might make them think they can no longer feel pleasure when there's so many other areas of the body that we can stimulate and invoke and really sink into in a way that is a different kind of erotic pleasure that many people haven't had the chance to try before.
Okay.
And it's fun because you get to have someone who believe for whatever reason or another, societal pressure, their own misconceptions, lack of decent sex ed in schools, whatever came together. But someone has the impression that pleasure is no longer something afforded to them sexually.
Okay.
I triple double dog dare you to email me. I'll prove you wrong.
Oh, I mean.
And then I help people feel comfortable. And the biggest thing is getting past our own brains during sex, getting past our own conceived notions of what this experience should look like, what this partner's body should respond to, and just opening the experience to exploration. I always ask people, what do you want to explore together? What adventure are we going to have together? Because that immediately takes the idea of body one, body two, boom, 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 and throws it out the window.
Yeah, it's a deeper connection that can allow you
it's
more.
more erotic and more pleasurable. I will honestly say, when you can have, everyone loves a good, fun bang and wave. Like, hey, hi, have fun. See you next time.
Wham, bam, thank you, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a good time. We have all enjoyed one. But let's be real. If you've ever had a time with your partner where you were able to reach the mountaintop, so to speak, more than once, that's usually a better time.
Yeah, no, exactly. Let's backtrack a little bit. You say right under the ankle.
Yes.
And the bottom of the foot.
Yes.
So where else on the body are you like 'cause,
Collarbones.
I mean, we might as well get really into this, guys.
Right, let's just dive
'Cause,
in.
I mean, if she knows all the good spots, and obviously you can't do it unless she really shows you.
Exactly. Just helping out. So if you look at the collarbone right about here, there can be some really fun nerve endings in there that you can very gently stimulate. Also, the very, very back of the neck.
Isn't there 2 pressure points in the back of the neck?
There can be yep.
Usually, because you can actually because if you hit right, I think it's right here.
Yep.
It's actually a pressure point to drop someone down, or you can stimulate them based on how you move your finger.
Exactly.
On the 2 points at the same time,
Also,
right?
the side of the rib cage. Ribs can be very, very sensitive. Those intercostal muscles are a little twitchy sometimes, and it's fun. Back of the knee.
Okay.
There's a fun one in the back of the knee that you can stimulate. It can take a little bit. It's typically on the inside of the back of the knee. And that can be really gently stimulated. It's very fun if you kiss that spot, I will say.
Okay.
Down the entire spinal cord. Seriously, if you
Which
can...
is why massages always feel really good.
Yes.
Okay.
If you can feel a vertebrae, there's probably a nerve that's going to enjoy being caressed there. And just that very, very sensitive, light touch that we don't get a lot, that just very, very gently kind of, especially if you haven't been touched in a really long time,
Yeah.
that can kind of wake the skin up. I know how hunky-dory that sounds, but if you think about running, so I'm a runner. I routinely do 5Ks.
Okay.
And I could not run a marathon today if you paid me. I couldn't. I would be winded. My lungs would not be able to handle it. And someone who isn't a runner isn't going to maybe be able to do a mile easily. So if your lungs need to work up to a mile, if you're really touch-starved, your skin might need to work up to touch. So whenever I have someone who has been experiencing really bad touch starvation, and after the pandemic,
A lot of people.
I don't want to I'm not a medical professional. I'm not diagnosing, but it's a pandemic. You probably need a good hug, just saying. And so a lot of those times, so we can really feel the deepest pleasures, the most erotic, and frankly, the most orgasmic pleasures.
Okay.
I like to start with just a very, very light touch, gentle touch massage, just caressing fingertips over the skin, just getting us ready for what we're about to do, warming up before we go for the sprint, so to speak. And just kind of playing with all of those little parts can just leave a partner putty in your hands, and it's so fun.
What about, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Because this goes on that light touch, right? Because, one of my best friend, well, actually my best friend I used to live with for years, he went to massage school and all these things. Now he's in Oriental medicine.
Oh, very
He's
cool.
getting his degree in that. But one thing he always showed is the light touch. And then one thing I learned from other many exes.
Feel that.
The light touch, soft
Yeah.
blow across your skin. Because the nerve endings, if you ever watch the original movie Jurassic Park, it's kind of funny the way they explain it, right?
Yes.
2 bottles of water, or 2 drops of water.
Yes.
Are they going to go the same way? No. Because technically your nerve endings and your skin and tiny little hair follicles move at different directions.
Yep.
And that's why, when you touch the top of your hand, it has that slight tingle.
Hand massage feels so good. And most people don't consider that a hand massage can be something extremely erotic.
True.
But you can rub the hand, you can bring the hand up, caress it, bring your mouth into the game a little bit. There's a fun spot on the inside of the wrist. There's one in the antecubicle or the inside of the elbow. Let's see if I can do English today.
Where did you learn some of these spots? Did you just
Yeah, Yeah.
Were they in a textbook, or did you find them online? Like,
So I'm actually a certified nurse's assistant. I have been on and off for over 10 years. I actually spent the first half of the pandemic working in a COVID nursing home unit and providing ongoing COVID care and end of life COVID care because
Okay.
it was a nursing home.
yeah,
Realities of a pandemic.
Yeah.
And I'm also actually a trained doula, which is for labor and childbirth. But between both of those, I've had, and my trainings in those, I've learned a lot about anatomy, a lot about natural hormone stimulation. I am very, very much for take your meds that are prescribed to you as prescribed are you. If you can't make your own neurotransmitters, store-bought's fine.
Yeah.
But I've learned a lot about massage, a lot about touch, and the different ways we can use all of that to feel more at home and more comfortable in our bodies. And the more comfortable we are with ourselves, the more comfortable we're sharing ourselves with other people, sexually, romantically, platonically. And I get to help people figure out the hardest one, that sexual romantic communication and that touch and that pleasure.
okay, interesting.
I genuinely feel sex work is a calling for me.
I mean, it definitely is a good thing. I mean, without people that actually know what they're doing and
Oh, yeah.
in depth, it
Well-
would just make it a boring, like, what would be the point of spending, any kind of money or even getting that experience that you want, like,
Well,
if
and
it's just walk in and
Let's think about it logically. If I am planning a birthday dinner for myself, because
Okay.
I feel like treating myself, I am deserving of self-pleasure, self-enjoyment, and spoiling myself.
nothing. Okay.
I'm not going to cook at home. I'm an excellent cook. But if I want something really special, I'm going to go to a professional chef.
Correct.
Or say, I can't boil water and I need to learn how to cook because cooking is an important skill. It's something that I have decided is valuable to the life I want to live. I'm going to take a professional cooking class. I'm going to learn from an educated, informed professional. Why should sex be any different?
Makes sense.
You have chefs who are incredibly passionate about the food they make. I once heard 2 French chefs argue pastries for an hour, and they were passionate about it. I was enthralled and just hoping I got to have a sample at the end, but why wouldn't we do the same with sex? If you want something really special for yourself, if you want to indulge, if you want to spoil yourself because you are a person who deserves to give yourself pleasure, why wouldn't you go to an expert who really knows what they're doing and is genuinely thrilled to connect with you?
Yeah.
Or, to go back to the cooking analogy, if you aren't, say, confident in your skills in the bedroom and you've decided that being a confident lover is something that's really important to your life as it is and going forward to future relationships, doesn't it make sense to go to an enthusiastic expert whose entire existence is teaching people how to do this in a really fun, healthy way? It's just good common sense.
No, that makes sense. That definitely does. So one last thing before we wrap all this up. If you can give advice to either yourself back when you first started, because you've perfected obviously everything.
Yes.
Or even someone who's thinking about coming into this industry, what kind of advice would you give someone who's kind of wanting to protect their privacy like you?
Yeah.
But like, what kind of like advice and like really a way to help, like push them in the right direction?
Yeah.
You do.
No, that's so important because it's something that's been so vital to my entire career is know yourself, know your boundaries.
Okay.
The people who respect you, the clients that are going to be the best connections, are going to respect your privacy needs because they have their own. I've never had a bad experience with a client and my privacy needs, but that's because on the very rare occasions that someone has been disrespectful, I just end the conversation. I don't need, and so knowing yourself, knowing your boundaries, and then knowing that your beauty, while exceptional, is not the only thing you have to offer.
All right.
Because your skills are just as good,
Yeah.
if not better.
That's some good advice right there. That can go in almost any industry right there.
Well, you know at Tea Party how we always end with a positive quote.
Yep.
Mine has always been, you are the goddess of your own creation, worship yourself like a religion. And I think everyone could benefit from that.
It's true. Well, Delilah, it's been a pleasure.
Talking to you always is.
Yeah. I mean, I get to see you a lot when you're here. When I found out you were coming back, that first thing,
I know.
I was like, wait, is that real? And Kim looks at me, she's like, yes. I'm like, all right.
We got a good thing going here.
I'm like-
Let's figure it out.
'Cause, you know, post-pandemic, I mean, it's been a lot of hard work to try and get everything back running.
Oh,
and
man.
when we saw a lot of the girl, and a lot of people returned from.
Oh,
the
yeah.
company.
So many return, but there are ones who didn't.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good to see like a lot of the people, especially because someone who's perfected that. Like I said, the Carmen Sandiego thing is actually referenced back to her original podcast because she was wearing all red with a giant red hat. And if you don't know who Carmen Sandiego is, then Google it. But Delilah, how do they get a hold of you right now? Like, how does someone out there get in touch with you to start a connection and to plan their next experience?
No, and I wish I could scream from the rooftops. Starting your adventure, starting your next sexual exploration is so easy. It's an email. It's Delilah.
Really?
Yeah, it's Delilah Rae at sagebrushranch.com. It's, hi, my name is, I saw your profile, I saw your podcast, I saw this, that, the other. I think that this that you offer is amazing, and we'll go from there. I'm also on Twitter at Delilah Rae, and so I'm here. Come find me.
Yeah, I mean, guys, thank you, and everyone, not just guys. I say guys in reference to every single person out there, but everyone, thank you so much for bringing this second season right in to a full kickstart. We've been in the top 100 on Apple Podcasts pretty much almost every week. So thank you so much, Delilah, again.
The pleasure is always mine.
Make sure if you guys are watching, we're available on Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, all these other things, along with YouTube as well, youtube.com/BunnyRanchNetwork. But again, my name is James, and this has been another fun episode of the Bunny Ranch Podcast. So see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.